I'm starting to wonder whether or not these articles, these everything is sexist, everything is racist, everything, really scraping the bottom of the barrel. In fact, it's probably gone beyond the bottom of the barrel. The barrel was, several feet ago. We're still digging here. I'm starting to wonder whether these are, a new form of paid content. How there's paid content on the internet where people will, in some cases, just outright say, hey, we're gonna pay you to, write a piece about our product. And then the author will be really, really upfront about it. They'll be like, yeah, this is a sponsored piece. I'm gonna tell you about this product, da-da-da-da-da. But then we moved on to sponsored content where people would say, okay, we're gonna pay you for this product. You don't necessarily have to shill the product outright. But what you've got to do is to sort of talk about something that will lead on to our product. And I'm starting to question whether or not this is, the next iteration, because you'll remember, previously we looked at the Ghostbusters movie, or I didn't actually look at the movie or anything around it. I just sort of looked at some of the marketing strategy that was used to try and get people into it, and it was, if you don't do this, you're sexist. And what I'm starting to think is this story about, this Amazon Echo going to be, the next iteration of paid content, where it's okay, we're going to pay you to shit-talk our products in a really retarded way, and that way everyone's going to talk about your article shit-talking our product, but that's going to get people talking about our product, which is going to lead them to look at it themselves, and then that'll be our way of introducing people to it. Are marketing people really just that manipulative and just soulless and sociopathic and evil? I'm going to vote yes, but is that proof that that's what's happening here? No, of course not. That's just my tinfoil hat conspiracy theory talking. I am starting to wonder about the sanity of some of these feminist authors. They are the deep end, and going off it doesn't even begin to explain. It's not even close to how absolutely mental these people have to be. I mean, my god, the cylinder looks like a curvy body. No, it objectively does not. How are you getting this? Where are you getting this? If you want to even go down the very questionable route of Freudian psychology, it looks more phallic than feminine. It's just the crazy lengths that these people will go to contort anything to fit their narrative. Like the nonsense, what was it? Oh, men and women have been scientifically proven to both prefer the voices of women. This proves that everyone hates women. Because we all know having a preference for something means you really don't like it. And the god-awful reaching with the, Facebook have created their thing and it's called M. Well, clearly that's a reference to Moneypenny in James Bond, because this fits my narrative of misogyny and unwanted attention. Which is just bizarre, as many subscribers of mine have pointed out, something which completely slipped my mind when I was making that video, because I'm not that much of a James Bond fan. M was the name of the head of MI6, which has been a role which has actually been played by Dame Judi Dench, let's try and say that name correctly, for the past however many years now. So, assuming that someone at Facebook was thinking, hey, I'm gonna name it after a James Bond character, for which the author has zero proof whatsoever, to go M, it's clearly Moneypenny and not the character called M, it's like those people who, find those brilliant and yet simultaneously ridiculous mathematical equations that lead to some sort of conspiracy, if we take the date that this event happened and we divide the month by the day and then multiply it by the year and then divide it by your number of fingers, it gives you the number of some president who was assassinated, and this proves that something happened. Illuminati confirmed. Or Half-Life 3 confirmed, if you'd prefer. I've got another story, something similar to this actually coming up, hopefully in the next week or two. God knows if I'll ever actually get around to doing it. My to-do list is massive, and the amount of stuff that just has to get stripped off because there are not enough hours in the day or days in the week to make it happen. But I've got another one which I'm hoping to do, that just again proves how these feminist types don't understand markets, they don't understand designs, they don't understand demographics or target audiences or anything. There's one coming up, hopefully, and it'll be about cars, and how a company has like a base model of car, and then they went to a women's magazine and were like, hey, we're gonna customize a run of these cars to you people. Like, what would you want to change about it? And unsurprisingly, because it was a group of women at a women's magazine, they loaded it up with a load of sort of female-friendly accessories, you know, like handbag hooks attached to the dashboard and things like that. And then this car company released it and were like, hey, we've built this thing in conjunction with the female writers at a female magazine. And all the feminists are looking and going, oh, so you've finally designed a car for women, huh? Telling women that they need to know their place, that they need a women's car, because they couldn't possibly drive anything else. They're just ignoring the fact that it's like a custom, specialized line of product. The base product is still available. This is just like an exclusive limited edition run that's been done sort of in tandem with, in conjunction with, as a promotion for something else. The length that people will go to is astounding, and I've got numerous examples that will demonstrate why it's retarded. Just the media reaction to it is stupid, but that's a whole other thing, and I don't want to spoil too much of it here, even though I probably already have. This thing with Amazon's Echo was absolutely ridiculous. It's not even grasping at straws at this point. It's grasping at the air and hoping against hope that there's a straw there. It's like, or maybe it's like grasping at the hallucination of a straw. Like they're just envisioning that they're seeing the straw and they're swinging their arms and they're just grabbing and clutching and pulling and getting absolutely nothing. But that's how desperate they are to try and make something out of nothing. It's another one of these absolute manufactured non-traversies, frankly. But it really does just seem to hammer home, A, how ridiculously first world these problems are, and B, just how desperate these people are to have their narrative of society hates women and everything is sexist. I suppose on the plus side of that video, I got to do something that I never thought I would, and that would be to say the phrase giant flopping horse cock in a video on the internet in a way that was kind of serious. Whoever would have thought?